Section 325 podcast.
The second half.
And the second show. Here we are. We promised a continuation. And here we are. We're going to break down the schedule in a way that we thought would be exciting. Travis will talk about the games that we think are the most exciting in each week, and kind of break those down and what makes them exciting. I didn't quite do my homework, so some of this is going to be on the fly.
That's how we do it here.
But I am prepared up to week 6, so I'm pretty excited about that. Anyway, let's get right after it and get into it.
So week 1, I'm always excited for week 1 because after 107 days of waiting for football to happen, like it's here. It's my Christmas day.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, here we are, week 1, and what is better than having our two teams play against each other?
I mean, that is exciting.
We don't know if we'll go to the game. I'm
going to be there.
You're going to be there?
I sold 2 seats.
So am I your +1?
No. I'm taking my girlfriend week 1.
We already talked about it. I told him that he can give them away if he needed to, or
the weather's good. I'm going to get her a hot little Seahawk tank top. She looks good. It'll be nice. It'll be warm. It'll be the two of us, and then
you don't need Wolfman to
no, don't be getting in the way of that. But but the second home game, they're playing the Dolphins, and I'm taking her little guy because the weather's warm, and he's my little buddy, and he it's so fun. Your son, right?
Yeah.
He's getting when he gets one more year older, because as he was had just turned he went to a game just before turning 3, and to watch him watching it and do the chant, right? I'm like, see, and he's like, Hawk, see, Hawks, and then he's like, I go, let's go, and he goes, let's go. He gets all fun. Into it.
Yeah, so we're gonna take Liam to a Vandal game, I think, this year.
Oh, excited! Yeah.
So I think that's what we're gonna do. That would be a good starting game for him.
Yeah,
he'll be 2 by then. So
it's so cool. We were playing a little football in the backyard, and he was cutting. And
Liam was doing that too.
Isn't it fun? Oh man, I said, you gotta hold the football like this. Well, so I was knocking it out of his hand.
Well, and then last week, 3 hours after Mother's Day, so man, poor Jamie, because she was up at that time. He couldn't get to sleep for like 2-3 hours, and anyway, he trips and smacks his face on his shelving thing here.
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
And I should put it on Facebook. But yeah, he had like a bruise like right above his a goose egg, pretty much right above his nose. She thought it was broken, but it wasn't. It was just a nice goose egg. Ended up bruising just around his eyes. But yeah, with that hit, literally 5 minutes later, he was just like back to normal.
Yeah,
he wanted to play. He was running at me, like chest butting me, like wanting to tackle me. He's going to be a linebacker. I thought he was going to be a quarterback. He's going to be a linebacker.
Yeah, I think Ezzy might be a running back. He likes the ball in his hands, and he doesn't want me to get it from him.
Yeah.
But the one time I do think he's going to be a linebacker is when I least expect it. I'm just sitting, and he just comes out of nowhere and just tackles me sometimes in the balls, and I'm just not ready for it. But he hits pretty hard already for a 3-year-old.
Yeah, he will body slam or jump on top of you. Yeah, just out of nowhere. He did that to Jordan the other day.
Yeah, you're not ready for it. They just do that. It's so funny because raising daughters, that didn't happen. They're all sweet. Hi, Daddy. Can I sit next to you? Daddy, can I hold your kiss on your lap? No, they don't. The little boys don't ask. They just come flying in.
They
and
come running in, flying. Yeah, everything.
It's pretty fun. I gotta tell you, it's pretty fun. Anyway.
But yeah, week 1.
Let's get into it. Seahawks. Broncos, I'll tell you the game I'm most excited about, and it's Pittsburgh going into Atlanta because you got Russell Wilson and Kirk Cousins, both with brand new teams.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how they're going to be. And each quarterback, one being drafted and the other having Fields come over via trade with Chicago, they've got young guys sitting behind them that if they don't play well, people start chattering and talking.
And we don't know week 1, like how everyone in the league.
Russell's been said he's the starter. We know Cousins is the starter.
Yeah.
But you guys, I talked to some Steeler fans that they'd rather see Fields in there, and I'm like, whoa,
Yeah,
that's crazy talk.
it is. So
Anyway, so that's my week one. Tell us your pick, your game
obviously
you're
the
most excited
Seahawks
for.
Broncos. That'll be a fun game to watch. You know, I'm looking forward to that Monday night Jets and Niners. It's deja vu all over
Well, and the
for the
Niners'
Rodgers.
old defensive coordinator is the
Is
head
it?
coach of the Jets, so
Yeah.
that should be a good game.
Well, and Rodgers coming back on it. He had an injury on a Monday night game,
And then,
and the guy that tackled him now plays for the Niners.
yeah, that's true.
So it's just deja vu all over.
Well, and then the Rams are going into Detroit, and that was a playoff game
That was a
last year.
great playoff game.
And
Yeah.
Rams could have very easily won that game.
Uh-huh.
So there's some really good games. I see the Cowboys at the Browns, but for me, I'm looking forward to seeing those two old quarterbacks playing on new teams.
No.
Um,
Well, and the first game, the Thursday night to kick it off, the Ravens and Chiefs.
that's a classic matchup.
That's a classic matchup. But that's the AFC Championship right there, all over again. So that's a good way to start the season. Packers and Eagles go to
Brazil
to play an international game.
Oh, that's
The
cool.
one of 5 games, 3 in London, 1 in Germany, and 1 in Brazil there. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a good week schedule.
Well, let's move on to week 2.
Yep.
Because we only have 30-minute shows.
Yeah, I know. My favorite is going to be the homecoming that Russell Wilson will be in Denver, Pittsburgh, and Denver. So that's my pick.
I'm right there with you. That's exciting. That is exciting because Wilson's going to get booed. He's got 2 teams that boo him.
I know.
So he's going to get booed going in.
I mean, he got booed while he was in Denver, so he'll be used to
this
it.
is his chance to shut him up, right?
Yeah.
To shut him up or get booed more.
Yeah.
And then he'll get booed by his own Steeler fans if he loses that game. Let's be honest. So, that's definitely the game to watch that week.
Yeah, week 2.
That's always exciting. Other than that, yeah, I mean it's the NFL. Every game's exciting, unless it's going to be the Carolina Panthers.
I don't even think I highlighted them there.
Yeah,
in the schedule.
But the Bears and Houston on that Monday night will be cool to see Caleb Williams go in and play against last year's number 1.
Yeah, that is true.
Quarterback picked with the Houston Texans.
Yeah. And one thing I noticed too, the Thursday night games. Usually, you always hear that it's like the Jets and Carolina are playing against each other, but there's a lot of actually good Thursday night games.
Did they step it up finally?
A little bit. I mean, there are still some of those games are like, oh, really? It's these 2 teams are playing, but I mean, week 2. This is another pick of mine: Bills and Dolphins. I'm gonna watch every game that Bills and Dolphins play this year, outside of Denver playing, but because they could win the division. One of those 2 teams could.
Well, they're both good teams.
They're both good teams, and
the question is, you can be good as you want, but who's going to knock off the Chiefs?
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's another matchup I'm looking at: Bills and Dolphins, week 2, Thursday night football. Let's move on to week 3.
Week 3, I did have 2 games. Baltimore at Dallas, I thought is a really good matchup. Both teams disappointing last year. Let's be honest. I think both teams wanted to be in the Super Bowl, thought they had a Super Bowl quality team, and neither one made it.
Yeah. Well, I saw a joke the other day that when the Cowboys schedule was released, someone pointed was like, "Oh, I see that the Cowboys have 2 buys. They're 1 bye like week 12 or whatever it is, and then their second bye first weekend of or the second weekend of the playoffs because they'll lose the first game."
Oh, right. It's true though.
Yeah.
They can't win in the playoffs.
And, they have to get over that hump somehow.
Yeah, but once you win Super Bowls and you get to the playoffs, you expect to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And when you don't, as a Seahawk fan, you got to the playoffs, you were excited.
Mm-hmm.
You had an opportunity. You weren't like, you're just excited to be in the playoffs. But then once you win a Super Bowl and you go to another one, and we didn't win, but you expect to get in the playoffs, you want to go to the Super Bowl. Otherwise, it's like, who cares?
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually starting to feel like that. Like, can we just make it to the playoffs, Denver?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, week 3, I think that Dallas game would be good.
The other game I picked was the Niners at the Rams because,
That's what I had.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Rams are very much improved. And I don't know, the Niners, man, after losing a couple years in a row where you're so dominating and you don't get to a Super Bowl, they're the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
They're another Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah.
And even when they do get to the Super Bowl, they haven't won one in so long. They've lost.
Yeah.
So, Dallas, you should be happy because you could be going to Super Bowls and losing like the 49ers. That's
Yeah, because
not
they've, what, in the last 10 years, been to 3?
3 and lost all
Wow.
3.
So
After going, what, 4 or 5-0?
yeah, they didn't lose a Super
They won
Bowl
4 with Montana and then one with Young.
Young. Yep.
5-0.
So yeah, week 4.
I think they won 4 with Montana.
They won 4 with Montana.
Okay.
He won 4 because there was that meme back in the day before Brady started.
Well, Bradshaw won
winning.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Week 4 though.
Yeah, week 4. My pick was Seahawks at Detroit because Seattle's 2-0 in the last 2 years. It's 3 years in a row Seattle's gone to Detroit.
Yeah, that would be a good Monday night game.
So I think that's a really good game. Yeah, it is Monday night. So that's the pick I have for week 4.
I have the Sunday night game, Bills and Ravens. Again, conference. That's a playoff game right there if you just wanted to call it.
Is it just me, or do the Ravens just not excite you? I don't know. They just seem boring to me.
Well, they do have King Henry now, so they might have they've always had a good running game.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've never been excited to watch the Ravens play, and unless it was those old Ravens Steelers matchups when they would just beat each other up in a 9-6 finish.
Yeah. And then, Vikings and Packers play week 4. Another divisional. It'll be interesting with the Vikings how they're going to be this year. So that's the reason why I pointed that out. Week 5, I have the Bills and Texans because that's where Stephon Diggs will be kind of a little homecoming against the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting.
I had the same game. Yeah, Buffalo going into Houston. I thought that was a really...
Yeah. It's funny, too, because Dell, the other receiver for Texans, I think he's better than Diggs. And Diggs is not going to like it once he realizes it. But yeah, we'll see.
Does Diggs ever like it? It seems like every time you hear, he's the one complaining.
Yeah, he's a little drama queen, I think. But yeah.
Yeah. So moving on, do you have any more for week 5? So week 6, I had Detroit at Dallas.
That's what I have too.
Yeah, another good matchup.
Another good one.
They played last year, and Dallas whooped them, didn't they? I think that was Detroit's worst loss on the year.
Oh, I think so.
If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. I'll ask my line buddy.
Yeah. They'll know. They remember. They have so many losses to remember.
But moving to week 7.
Yeah, I didn't get this far, so now I've got to cheat. So week 7, go ahead and talk about yours, and I'll kind of glance through it here.
Broncos go to Saints. As I mentioned before in our last episode, it is Sean Payton's homecoming game to New Orleans. It's a Thursday night game. I've been to that game before 8 years ago when Denver came into the Saints last time, and they won. Denver won. I don't know if it'll be the same outcome, but it'll be a good Thursday night game for me to watch at home. And then I also have the Super Bowl matchup from last year, Chiefs and Niners.
Yeah, that's a good game.
So that's what I had highlighted.
Just glancing at it, I'd be excited about the Bengals going into Cleveland because I think they're much more evenly matched now. And if I'm not mistaken, did Cleveland sweep that last year against Cincinnati?
I think they did, yeah.
Yeah, they had the injuries. But Cleveland also, their starter was out, and they were winning games with Flacco. who they didn't bring back, who got signed by. Oh, he got signed by someone.
He did get signed
Was
by
it
a
Indy?
team. Was it? It was Indy, I think.
It's somebody like that.
I
Yeah,
think it was Indy
yeah. And just crazy they didn't bring him back because
because
he
Minshew went to
the Raiders.
Vegas. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm happy for him
yeah,
because they didn't draft a quarterback, so you know he's a starter.
yep.
The one person you thought would have drafted a quarterback didn't, and
And
then
they were sitting right there
all these other
too.
teams did. Oh well.
I think they were right behind. If Denver didn't get Bo Nix, they were right behind. Raiders were right behind Denver in the draft. They would have probably
I'm
picked them.
I'm a Burrow fan. I like his confidence and the fact that he smokes cigars. So I'm a big Burrow fan. I like him. Week 8.
I got the Bears and the Commanders, the number 1 pick versus the number 2 pick.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, that's a good game.
Yeah.
You also have the Bills at the Seahawks.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that's a game that you said that Seattle might not win against.
I just don't know how he can. I see the Cowboys and the Niners. That looks like a great game. That Cowboys, remember last year, that was going to be a big game, and the Niners just took it to them and demolished them.
Yeah.
And so, man, at some point they got to start playing better. They have a stacked team.
Yeah. And then there's a Sunday night game, Cowboys and Niners. That just kind of brings you back from like.
Well, that's what I just said.
Yeah,
Cowboys
the 90s. So.
Yeah, so I think that's a big game there. I hope we can beat the Bills, but a couple years ago, Seattle went into Buffalo, didn't even compete, and we had Russell Wilson. So
Week 9. Yeah, Miami and Buffalo again.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'll be interesting if one of those teams can sweep one another. Because if they can, that will be the start of maybe them winning the division. So that could be up in the air for those two teams.
Yeah, and then just selfishly looking at it, the Rams coming into Seattle, Seattle being swept by the Rams last year, we owe them. We owe them a loss.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so I don't think there was anything else on that week.
No.
Week 9 and 10 are usually the starts of your heavy bye week. So, it doesn't look like there's that many games anyway.
The Eagles and Cowboys, that's a good one. That's always a good game. Surprised that's not on prime time.
Which one?
It's
week 10. Week 10
Eagles
now.
and Cowboys.
So moving on to week 10.
I think that's a great matchup.
That is. I mean, it's not even on Fox. Yeah. No, Troy or Joe Buck will be.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, they're on ESPN now, though. Never mind.
Yeah, I do like the Dolphin-Ram matchup. I think that's a pretty good matchup. Good game to watch.
That Thursday night game, week 10.
Lions Bengals. Going into the Texans because Texans, they're good.
Yeah.
You can't. They're not going to sneak up on anybody this year.
They aren't. But yeah, Thursday night game, Bengals and Ravens, that'll be a good divisional game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, even the Monday night game too, Dolphins and Rams, like two good teams. Again, like you said before, are the Dolphins good? Like, are they going to be a contender?
Their coach is cool, but is he good? Is he good to get
I
them
feel like
over the
at
hump?
week 10 last year, they were kind of slumping. So
they crawled in. They lost the division and crawled into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then went into Baltimore and got whooped. Or was it Kansas City? It was cold. Remember, it was really cold. They went in Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yeah, because their wide receiver stud that has like 10 kids with 9 different women, he struggled.
Then week 11, Seattle and San Francisco.
Gosh,
that you won't win in
no
San Francisco.
No, we're not going to be.
Yeah.
We're not going to win in San Francisco.
I highlighted Atlanta and Denver just because it's a game on my birthday weekend, so I may be at that game. I'm not sure.
Well, the Chiefs are at the Bills, so that's a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say the Chiefs at the Bills is probably the best game that week.
Ravens and Steelers, that's another
that's always
good game.
Good game. Well, the Texans and the Cowboys, though, the Battle of Texas.
Monday night. There's that Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's right. I'll be watching Manning Cast if that's the case.
Oh gosh. Hey, do you guys like I don't mind Joe Buck and those guys. You get used to hearing them, but
Yeah.
Joe Buck called both of Seattle's NFC Championship games, so
Yeah.
when you're and there's a touchdown over, you hear Buck's voice, you just in those moments you get excited. But
moving on to week 12. Again, Steelers and Browns, another
that's a
divisional
tough
game.
division, that one right there.
That'll be the Thursday night game. And then Niners and Packers. Packers never do well against the Niners. It was that Rodgers era, though. So they have to turn that around.
That is going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Niners and Packers. Yeah, that's definitely the game of the week.
The Sunday night, Eagles and Rams.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams are good.
Oh.
They have a good coach. They still have Stafford, and they have stud wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody forgot about, what's his name? Because this rookie that came in and dominated.
Oh, Cooper Kupp?
Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Everybody forgot about Cooper Kupp. He was injured a little bit. But
Yep. What's the Monday night game on that one? Ravens and Chargers? Okay.
How are the Chargers going to be with Harbaugh?
I don't know.
How are they going to be? I haven't looked at one game and been excited to see them. And you would think, Harbaugh's coming in. Let's be excited about the Chargers. But
really, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how. I think Denver plays them week 6. Yeah, Denver plays them week 6. So that's when I'll start really paying attention.
Oh, here we go. This is Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, week 13, Thanksgiving week. So you got Bears and Lions, Giants and Cowboys, and Dolphins and Packers. And then you have your Black Friday game, Raiders and Chiefs.
Why do they bring the Giants in on Thanksgiving week? They're not exciting. Their quarterback stinks.
It should have been like the Eagles and Cowboys or something. Like, make them more. I get that they're doing the divisional matchup, Bears and Lions, Giants and Cowboys.
Yeah, Dolphins and Packers will be the best game that week.
Yeah, that will be a good game to watch after your dinner, after your turkey.
Well, the Chargers are going in to play the Atlanta Falcons, so
I didn't even look at the other games. I was just more excited for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I'm already excited for Thanksgiving. It's what now, 180 some days Thanksgiving.
180. Yeah, so week 14. Now you get in late. Now this is when the playoffs are on the line.
Yeah.
This is when the
playoff picture starts to come out.
Yeah, this is when it's going to get real rough for some teams. But like Buffalo and the Rams, they should be playoff bound by then. I don't know that the Seahawks and Cardinals game is going to be, like playoff implications. But definitely
Browns and Steelers again. We don't know what the Steelers are going to be like with 2 quarterbacks competing.
Definitely Kirk Cousins going back to Minnesota. That's a huge game. Yeah.
Is he going to be starting?
But here we go.
He'll be starting.
Thursday night's the game of the week. Packers going into the Lions. That's definitely going to have playoff implications and division stuff there. And then Jets and Dolphins. That could be another one.
Oh, this is going to be a good week.
Week 14 looks real good.
Denver has a bye that week, so I'll have to.
Bengals and Cowboys. That looks like a good game. And
Chargers
who knows?
And Chiefs.
If the Chargers are good, that Charger-Chief game could matter.
Yeah.
We just don't know.
We don't know.
Let's go on to week 15 because week 14 was hurting my head.
You know what we should do? We should, maybe in our next actual episode we'll switch it up. So I'll save it for that.
All right.
So stay tuned. What is Travis thinking?
Yeah, stay tuned. What is Travis? That's how we'll open the show. Welcome to What is Travis Thinking?
Week 15.
Bills and Lions. Good game.
Thursday night, Rams and Niners.
You're not excited for that Commanders Saints game?
I'm excited for the.
Is anybody excited to see the Commanders play? Bobby Wagner's there, linebacker, and the old Seahawk defensive coordinator is the head coach.
I'm excited for the Cowboys and Panthers. That's a game I will not be watching.
No, nothing with the Panthers in it. Their quarterback, this is his last season.
I already know I won't have anyone on my fantasy team on the Cowboys or Panthers this year. Just saying.
Steelers and Eagles, that could be a really good game, depending on how that season goes with Russell Wilson.
Dolphins and Texans again. Playoff
Do the
matters.
Steelers play the Bears this year? I didn't even
Um,
see.
no.
Okay, because if Justin
Oh, that
Fields,
yeah. No, actually, I already looked into that, seeing
yeah.
if he would play that. Yeah.
All right, so week 16.
Yeah. This is week 16. Again, Thursday night. Browns Bengals. Is the AFC North own Thursday night games this year?
No, why not? They're all good teams.
Yeah.
Houston Texans and the Chiefs. There's a playoff matchup.
Oh, that's on Saturday. We're getting onto the late
Yeah,
December Saturday games
yeah.
because
This
we have a doubleheader followed by the Steelers and Ravens.
and notice we don't talk about the Patriots anymore. How times
Uh,
have changed.
Yep. Let's see here. Who they play? The Bills?
I mean, what?
They used to own the Bills.
I know.
Actually,
Um,
I think they did win one game against the Bills last year. I think that was at the beginning of the season. It was during the Bills slump.
they did. They beat a few teams. They
I
had
think,
like a little
yeah,
run for like
they
2 or
beat the
3 weeks.
Broncos. That should have been a game the Broncos could have had. Should have
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So,
that was our talk about the Patriots, done and over. So I'm sure we have mentioned every team in here.
San Francisco at Miami. That could be a really good game. Week 16. Probably have a lot of playoff implications. Probably more so on Miami's side of things, but big game for them.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Every game is huge in the
Well,
NFL.
every game is, but especially down the last 4 games. It's the fourth quarter, and you have to finish strong.
Yeah. How are the Saints going to be this year?
We don't know.
Had mixed results last year. They look like a dominant team, and then they look
I
like a horrible team.
I know Saints were my favorite pick last year. I wanted the Saints to go get far. They didn't, because I looked at their schedule and I felt like they had the easiest schedule. They weren't playing against any elite quarterbacks.
I know.
I think the most elite quarterback they played against was Cousins.
Yeah, but that was early in the year.
But look at their division at the time. We didn't know what Baker was going to be like.
Let Baker bake.
Yeah, and then the Panthers with their rookie quarterback. And then the Falcons. Yeah, they were just. It should have been a team that should have won a lot of games. I felt like.
Yeah. Netflix. It's funny. Netflix has games. Are they charging extra for that? Are they just going to be on Netflix?
I think they'll just be on Netflix.
Good thing I pay for Netflix and Prime.
I pay for Netflix. Jamie pays for Prime.
Yeah.
Christmas morning, Christmas Day, Chiefs and Steelers. Week 17. We are where we're at now.
Yeah, I'm a little more excited about the Lions-Niner game. I think that's
the last time, if Wilson is still playing for this for the Steelers or starting for the Steelers, last time he played on Christmas Day, he got whooped. 2 years ago, Broncos played the Rams. They got whooped on Thanksgiving.
Oh, I remember that.
Yep.
Thumped.
Because the next day, I was still celebrating Christmas because Hackett got fired.
Yeah. And then here we are. So week 18, finishing out the season.
Yeah, week 18 is always fun because you got all those divisional matchups.
I know and sometimes they don't even matter.
Yeah.
But let's find some teams that we think definitely is going to matter.
Browns and Ravens, that's going to matter. We don't know what the Chargers and Raiders are going to be like.
Mm-mm.
So that could
be really good, or
I mean, it could matter for one team, or that it could be the start of winner goes in the playoffs.
Dolphins and Jets definitely could be a good game down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And Bengals and Steelers, if Russell's playing the way Russell can play.
Texans and Titans.
Saints and Bucks, they could come down to the wire again, just like last season.
Texans and Titans, that could come down the wire.
Yeah, because they got Will Levis at quarterback. Who knows?
I mean, a lot of these games will be Chiefs and Broncos. Chiefs will be already in, but is it going to be a matter game for the Broncos? Like, is it going to come down to that?
Yeah.
We don't know how the
Maybe
season's going to be like for any of these teams.
Maybe Seattle and LA might be playing for the last wild card spots. I mean,
Yep.
because Seattle's right there. I mean, 9-8. If you got more parity in the league, there could be other teams that are going to be 9-8.
Yeah.
So who knows? The one thing I do know is the NFL is exciting, and we're going to be bringing it to you the best way we know how, and talking about big games throughout the season. We'll have training camp starting up at the end of July, 1st of August. It's right here.
It is.
It's right here. But we don't want to rush summer. But the best part about summer ending is football. And that's what gets us through because it's the most exciting time of the year.
It is. More exciting than Christmas.
Anyway, so you can't find two bigger fans of,
For me, that is.
of Denver and Seattle. Huge fans. I don't cover it like I used to. I used to know every position, every guy's name, all of that. Now I'm older and I'm like, just win, baby. Right? Just win, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's where I'm at. But anyway, we're excited. Keep watching it. We're going to make it better and more fun. And we appreciate everybody watching. But that's our show. You got anything to add?
No, just look forward to what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah. What is Travis thinking? That'll be our next show.
That will be our next episode. Maybe in a few weeks or so.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But you'll see us throughout the summer. Not every week. We'll get back into that once the season gets going. But for right now.
Yeah, we're section 325.